Hello everybody and welcome back to Endless Legend 2, the new 4X fantasy strategy game from Amplitude Studios. This is the full version, the full early access release version anyway. As you can see, there are now 5 factions in the game, the 2 from the demo, Aspects and Kin of Sheridan, as well as 3 new ones. We have the economic faction, the last lords who feed on dust instead of food. We have the Tahooks, scientists with unique sciencey, sometimes food buildings. And finally, the necrophages, who were in the demo but weren't playable. They generate corpses by defeating enemy units that they can use to upgrade their own. And kind of a built-in one city challenge here actually. The necrophage only have one city, the den of their queen. To be frank with you, they're all pretty tempting. The custom faction is not yet available. Game is of course just in early access. I think I'm going to start with the Last Lords. Dust is great. I like the idea that they consume money. Sciencey faction is tempting, but let's go with the Last Lords. Ooh, and okay, customization, largely the same from the demo. The competitors default to 5, and the game has just filled me up with necrophage. I feel probably a better idea to mix it up and verse, let's go one of everything, right? Map type, just looking quickly here, I have a couple of different options, not a whole lot though. World size, I can't seem to go too small, but I can go larger, likely depending on the number of players that I've selected, I suppose. And then finally we have game speed, which is fixed. Game difficulty is not. Speaking of difficulty, there's a whole load of them, and I can choose to turn any old one off I like in here. I might leave this playthrough anyway as the default settings. World settings, I'll keep these the same too. Alrighty, lords and lordettes, let's just jump straight in then. If you didn't join me or anyone else for the demo coverage, or indeed play it yourself, this will be a brand new experience to you. It's a game that's came actually 11 years after the initial Endless Legend, if you can believe that. Developed by the same studio, Amplitude Studios. This time around, however, the game is published by Hooded Horse, who I do owe my thanks to for providing me with sort of an early access build here. If I've done this correctly and planned myself properly, you will be watching this as the embargo lifts, though the full early access release of the game doesn't happen until the 22nd of September. Just to briefly interrupt myself here, I'm looking for a starting point. Obviously food isn't going to be a factor for me, that's why we literally don't care. It's just gold or dust, a little bit of science and production, though I don't see much else. Let's fang it down this way, next to a little resource. And here's our very first city. Very good. Making a fair amount of dust per turn. We're going to need that to grow, to train, and to just flat out buy populations. A different mechanic, of course, from any other faction in the game, and the factions in this game are asynchronous by design. Having played a lot of Amplitude's other recent bigger game, Humankind, the city building here feels very familiar to me. A couple of points of difference. Firstly, I'll use this foundation building mechanic, using my influence to build these foundations, and then once they're built, like they are automatically around this city here, I'll be able to place districts on top of them, or we can build improvements within the city center itself. Districts-wise, I see a lot of dust, I don't see a lot of production, and I don't actually have a lot of options. It's dust or more dust. It's lucky I like dust. We get 6 of it by default, 2 on tiles producing it, and an additional 2 for each adjacent one of this communal habitation. For now, it's probably just going to be a mindless building of dust, or a training of units, but my production here is dreadful. Truly dreadful. Let's get the base improvement down, and queue up, I would say, 1 merchant's house after that. I will obviously look to speed this up by spending some dust. Time to choose a technology. We are, of course, just right at the start. Plenty more tiers to work our way through. We'll have a few uniques, and we'll also have some that the game is suggesting. Your advisor suggests that you build some scribes. Feudalism over here is our unique one. I also see a unique image down here. Sidehan Inquisition, +5 science on the Lord's estate, and a discount to the healing costs. Okay, interesting. Lots of interesting stuff. I tend to go for the uniques first, as well as the core districts. Merchant's House might be pretty good for me. Outside of the city here, a big part of the early game in Endless Legend 2 is of course the exploration. And the map will continue to open up, thanks to the tide seasons. One of the big parts of the exploration will be to try and pacify these villages. I could bribe them to get a free unit out of them, we could parlay, or we could literally just head straight in and bash them. I think I'll go for the parlay first of all, right? This will grab us a quest. Da-da-da, do-do-do, dee-dee-dee. Thank you very much. Plus 100 science by pacifying them all. Okay, sure thing. Destroy the Hydracorn marks. Whereabouts are they? Up this way. Handily next to the other thing that we'll look to do, find things like abandoned sites, these goody huts. I tend to think it's a good idea to keep all of the starting units together. So let's try and route obviously our starting hero here, Duke Unwin Weybridge. A great name for a leader, the Unwin. And probably a scout unit, I'm guessing, an infantry unit. Okay, reasonable enough. It's going to be a 3v3 situation. And it's really actually not a good one. Oy vey. I feel running away might be a better idea. These guys are particularly strong. They're sort of ghostly unicorns. Okay, let's just step back for now. Maybe explore some adjacent territories. There is something to discover down here. Most of these discoveries will net, ayo, feudalism. Not feudalism, but actually insta rewards like dust. Or in this case, science. I kind of just want to hoover up as much of this as I can so that we can improve our city. We'll also have a main storyline. This will be quest specific. I suspect a Fragile Dawn here, the one that I'm frantically clicking through, is the start of that. Ahead in the polls. Will improve the approval of the city plus 10 approval. Search the Lord's Archive. Alright, couple of quests online now, and the Lord's Archive is this way. So you'll notice that sometimes the map will itself create the objectives for the quests. The map is also procedurally generated each game. I think it's a good idea to queue up a couple of technologies here, so let's get maybe the workshop first, actually, given my low production. Then we'll get our unique face. Currency, actually, we already have, as well as scavenging, so I might pop up and get the generic boosts to our influence and approval after this. Here we have the Lord's Archive, our objective, army right next door. Let's jump in. And with this, a Fragile Dawn is done. Little bit of approval to our city. And our next quest, should we choose to accept it, which obviously we will, because not only will it give us a knight, but it will also give us 100 dust. Great. 3 curiosities. These are literally just the goody huts around the map, so I can't locate them, but I can just wander around and pick them up. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm kind of thinking it might be time to buy some population as well. Something I need to keep in the back of my mind. It's not just going to automatically happen with food. I'm going to need to buy them. You can see our rather strange looking populations down here. In this game, you can move your population around and change them from 3 different types: citizens, artisans, or scribes. Here we're looking at a productive one in the middle, a scientific one on the right, or a food one, or in this case, dust and influence on the left. We're very low on our production, and I can see that by moving these 2 dudes over, I speed this up something tremendous. So I'm going to leave them both as artisans for now. Continue to try and get more dust, and probably just get more dudes. Meanwhile, as we're exploring around, and I zoom out a little bit here, of course, we're also trying to find new territories. Claiming a territory, the first step anyway, is to found a camp. A couple of, not the greatest spots, but productive spots available up here in the forest. So you know what? I'll send it up here. Once we get the camp down, we'll then be able to connect this territory to our city, or turn it into its own city. So, a couple of options. I'll probably go for the connect because it tends to be better. And my very early, and of course it is very early because this is early access, but my very early view is that you probably want to, just like you may have in Humankind, connect 1 or 2 territories to each city, rather than just spamming out cities far and wide. Though, the actual balance and the metagame will obviously develop over time here, and I'm happy to let it do that. Just like I'm happy to spend 58 dust to buy that out. Merchant's House online. Let's potentially queue up one of our productive districts here too. +1 industry on tiles, +1 industry for ridges. They are just not very good at that. Stuff it, I'll get more money. Or my unique district. +12 approval and +1 primordial last lord pop. Okay, so instead of buying them, I can build them. Interesting. I think I'll do that. It's a district. It's going to get me a population. I want to try it at least once, as well as some approval, which you can see over here on the left. Probably starts in and around the middle, and probably doesn't get me a lot of benefit until I get it up a little higher. I think if I click on the Empire view, yes indeed, we can see the thresholds. Essentially, I need to get my overall empire approval above 60 to start seeing some kind of benefit. Jubilant would be fantastic. Little goal to work towards as I start to unlock some of this stuff as well. On turn 13, here is, bam, curiosity number 2. Rust and Rot. Aha, my favorite kind of event, the event where you get choice. Here we have 2 special kind of resources. Or, straight up take the 400 dust, or the 400 influence. Dust is particularly good for my faction, but these can be hard to find. I'm going to melt it down and take the precious resources. They are generally over here. Yeah, so we have our core ones, I'm guessing, and then we have our luxuries. And these luxuries can be spent. So for 10 of this one, which I have, I can get 5 defense on units for 15 turns. Okay, not that great right now. What about the dust water? 20% dust on city for 15 turns. That's reasonable. Obviously it gets better as the game goes on, but I'm making 15 right now. If I spend some more, now I'm making 63. I think we do it. Dust water. 20% dust on city. Use that booster. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay. 75. Good stuff. I think I should get more dust districts in that case. Merchant's house, +2 dust on tiles, producing dust. You bet your backside. Let's chuck it in there. Slow to build, but I can buy it out, so it's not the end of the world. Speaking of not the end of the world, let's try and sneak our way past these deadly unicorns and get this last curiosity. Ha ha ha, you can't stop me. Neat. Quest done. 100 gold and an Eldritch Knight. A roughly 50 damage unit. We'll get to combat in a moment in this game, but my early impression is that it's really fun. If you like combat in Humankind, you're probably going to like the combat here. And the auto-resolve features that they've put in right from the start, even in this relatively early access build, are greatly appreciated too. Speaking of, choose the objective you want to follow for this quest. Okay. Pacify 3 villages by any means, or build 2 soul repositories to get a poison salts consumable. I feel like that's not very good. It's an active skill, poison salts power. Okay. Ignores defense, deals 30 damage. Okay, yeah, we'll get that. It's a special thing, and it's exciting. Yes, please. Build 2 soul repositories to get the slots. I'm pretty sure I've already got one of those coming online. Yes, I do. So we'll maybe try and buy some population. Speed up our science, okay, and grow out. I guess I'll queue up a second one of these soul repositories as well when I can. Perhaps I need to wait for the first one to be done. Or it's 1 per city. Yikes. Either way, expansion is the goal. Let me carry on. We'll try and explore. Here's our lone unit. Might actually try and route them back to this one up here. Where, oh dear. What have we got? Okay. These are not the ones that I'm required to fight. Instant resolution sees them be completely wiped out, as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. The daughters of Boar no more. On my side, I'm barely losing any health, so I'll just go for the insta-resolve. The Mantle of Protection. And 88 bucks. Cool. Also, a level up for our hero. And our unique heal I see there as well. Loads of exciting things happening. Let's spend the hero point first. Hero points can be spent on passive skills, active skills, or these buffs on the right-hand side, which buff the kind of overall attribute categories. You can see when I mouse over it, it highlights stuff. The stuff that it's highlighting, it will boost. I'm going to go for a specific ability, though. I see some unique ones. Here you can see the Last of the Lord's skill tree. This one is about experience. This one is quite generic, actually, just about health. And this one adds damage when attacking minor factions. Interesting. Unnecessarily aggressive against them, but I probably will be harassed by them for a bit at the start here. Let's do it. Congrats. You are the minor faction basher. While we're here, next to a minor faction, I'll quickly spend my cash because I don't want to lose any of these dudes. It's a bit of a waste, because I'm not making a lot of dust at the moment, but if we get attacked by the ravenous unicorns, we're going to be in trouble. I have the high ground. It's a balanced fight. Shall I be impatient? Or shall I pacify this village? Oh, so many options. You know what? Let's enable the extra defense on units for 10 turns, because I am clearly going to be doing a little bit of unit bashing, and let's start with the unicorns. Oh, I've changed my mind. I'm retreating. There was a terrible insta-resolve. Now, of course, there's absolutely a chance that I can gamify it, hide in the high ground, use my defense to my advantage, but In my limited experience with Endless Legend 2 so far, the early game is brutal, and if you choose to fight, I should say, actually, it's a big if. If you choose to fight early, it can be brutal. So, I'm not going to do that without having the numbers on my side. And here come my numbers now. Thank you very much. Get the full army together, then we'll head up north and do a bit of fighting. Alright, you little army of 4U, let's get you, as I said before, onto the high ground, and try again. Round 2. Okay, round 2 looks a little bit better. I'm going to lose a unit. I'll allow it. It's a matter of history. In effect, I kind of traded it for 100 science. And 178 gold. Very good. Quickly heal up these dudes on the fly to full, or at least the hero. No, you know what, all of them. We made the money. Let's do it. We could continue our march, actually, in there. After a cheeky upgrade, let's give something that's generically good. A physical training, a passive skill that adds 5 damage as well as more per every attribute. That looks fantastic, actually. And I love the little UI indicators here as well. You can see you've got might, resilience, determination. Yeah, very good. At the moment, I just have 2 determination points, but plus 7 damage seems really good. Seems really, really good. I'll take it. Don't yet have any extra heroes to add as friends or nemesis even, but we do have a little bit of extra gear, so let me put this on. Hammer, not very good. Mace, much better. Adds might point and extra damage and crit chance. We'll also chuck on this consumable for the mantle of protection power. That's a catchy skill. We've met our first enemy. It's Prime, one who stalks afar. It's of course the warmongering faction in the game. I've pacified the dudes within my territory here after completing that quest, and this territory next door can be attached or evolved. I should definitely do that right now. Let's quickly attach it up to Dawnbreak. It will unlock these tiles to build on, so I can absolutely get some better works centers now. I'll chuck that right to the front, actually, just to build a little bit of extra productive capacity into what is now a much larger city. A city of 2. And it's right next to you. Great. Actually, looking at that makes me think of these buttons over here. Quickly checking in. This is, of course, very different from the demo. The different awakening conditions. Victory conditions, I should say. The overall score victory counter, as well as the conquest victory counter. And I haven't really unlocked much else, so I can't see much else there. Quest journal. Yeah, not a lot to see yet. Don't have many cities. But we do have these Daughters of Boar. 1 defense per pacified village under protectorate on units, and plus 3 defense overall. Okay, so they're quite defensive, and for 150 influence, I'll click the end turn button, and that'll be enough. We can hook that up. Let's do it. We've got the slot available. I see no reason why you wouldn't just chuck them straight in. They are now a protectorate of ours under our assimilation. Very good. Ooh, and their populations can now flourish in my cities. And by flourish, of course, I mean be sacrificed. Activate or deactivate sacrifice for the realm. Consumes foreign population. Each one gives a 50% boost to last lord populations. What? Oh no, they give half a last lord population. Plus 50%, I'm assuming that's what that means. Sacrificing serf status. Okay, what the heck does all of this do? This city turns them into native populations. A dust bonus scaling on native populations. It benefits from approval malice. What the heck? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, okay, no, I do actually have a few. We've got 1, 2, almost 3, and one of them is destitute. Populations are placed here when there's no work for them. Oh, well, we should start sacrificing then, shouldn't we? Alright, sacrifice it up. I'll just see what that does. This faction is, of course, entirely new to me, because I've basically only just got a look at this preview build merely days before the embargo lifts, and I can start to share it with you. As I alluded to at the start of this video, all going well, this will be rolling out literally as soon as the embargo lifts. And I intend to keep covering it, because it's pretty fun. Not gonna lie, pretty fun. Let's go and have a chat to these lads. In fact, let's buy a unit off them, because my army is a little bit short. We've got a Scholastic Book Club ranged unit. Okay, handy, because at the moment I'm very infantry-based. Sacrifice of the Realm stopped, because there isn't enough population. Let's have a look and see what it did to the pop counts. I see a Primordial Last Lord. Royal Last Lords elevate the souls of other populations like no other. +1 dust on Last Lord pops. +1 influence on Last Lord pops. Cool. We do still have one Daughter of Boar left, but you know what? That's pretty good going. I need districts that provide more jobs. So, +1 population slot on vocations from this communal habitation, for example, is going to be a really good one. Let's slot one in there, because I do have some extra districts around it. Maybe time for some extra foundations too. Try and reach out and connect the cities. The soul repositories can indeed only be built once per territory. You can see it actually in very plain English down the bottom there. Uniqueness prerequisite. Okay, well, the second part can be built once per territory. So let's slot a second one down there on this now connected territory. Chuck that to the very front of the queue so that I can finish this in but 3 turns. And then I think it's time to go and swat some flies. Get out of here! They chose not to fight, they chose to retreat, but it does damage them as they scuttle away. Haha! It's rare, but today the swarm decides to be prudent. Acknowledge. Oh. Achieve get. Bugs are running at my city, but I don't think that's anything to do with the cutscene. No, it isn't. Right, so what's happening here, I'm going to skip through it because I've seen it many times, is that we've entered the first phase of the map change, right? We've now entered the monsoon season. And in somewhere between a very broad-based 1 to 19 turns, as you can see down the bottom here, we will move from this early monsoon into the actual tidefall season where the map will change. We'll take a look at that as we move through. It's quite a big deal. It's quite a big deal. For now, though, we need to apply some seats to our council, which is also quite a big deal. And it's hidden in here, in the Empire summary screen. We will appoint characters, either ones we've befriended or assimilated, or our own people, our heroes, who we also need to get some more of. Old Duke Unwin himself here, our main hero, is a haggler, and provides a pretty good discount on units. However, I think that this side earner, Bishop Francesca de Mollo, is actually better at +8 dust. That's just straight up dust on resource deposits, which I think I have. I hope I do. The real appointment, though, I think the really interesting one is not even here with Go RM. Extra battle spoils is very good. Don't get me wrong. But I'm quite interested in this one. +15 science per camp on Empire. Now, a camp is of course the first phase, right? It's like a claimed territory that's yet to be turned into a city. So, I don't think it's going to apply to my existing territories that have already been reformed, though it may. It will at least apply to newly founded camps, and I think that 15 science is very good. The cost to change these is nothing, so I can come back and change them if I need to, or when we unlock more. But let's have a look. So how much science are we getting at the minute? 17. It's really not very good. Science reserves, none. Empire progression, in total, is 19, in fact. So there's a couple of extra that aren't coming from the main city. I can basically double that by claiming 1 territory. So let's meander back this way. No, hold on. I need to go and fight these bugs again. Hold that thought. Let me just squash 4 bugs. Let's jump into a manual fight, because we haven't looked at manual combat yet in this video. I could choose to, as the name suggests, manually fight. Heroes will have their abilities up in the top left. Restores 25 health to adjacent friendly units. Very good. That's just a gift of the fallen. Here's our hero, has 2 active skills. Everyone else can just heal each other. What I like to do for the first round of a fight, if the enemy can't really get to me, is just defend. Use any heals, use any extra things, let them run at me, and then charge while they're in range and just squash bugs. Yeah, brother. We squash bugs. The other thing that I could do, if squashing bugs was less in my interest, is firstly change it to normal or fast to speed up the animations. I have it on fast because normal's too slow. And secondly, actually just chuck it straight on auto. Let my ranged unit shoot his very cool laser beam books that I just saw fire off. Watch, ready, 3, 2, wabam. What a cool dude. How did I... Ah, yes, I bought you, that's right. Right, 4 bugs squashed, easily done. I bought that ranged unit from these guys, so as I was saying before I got distracted by the bugs, let's march our way up. Ooh, new era, I'll get to that in just a moment. Let's march our way up here, claim this territory, and potentially double my science per turn. Before we get to the new era, it's also time to choose a new hero. They have their own built-in attributes, as you can see down the bottom, so something to watch out for. They'll have their own upkeep, their own health. They'll be their own style as well, right? Certain fighters or otherwise. But what I really like to look for are those council traits. Plus 50% dust when performing a capture action on army. Yeah. Grifter, a huge boost to dust and industry on cities at the cost of approval. Plus 2 dust on all districts is pretty nice. Plus 30% industry cost. I like the 2 dust on all districts. This is going to scale very well. Mary Bridges, you're in. Welcome, Mary. Let's jump into Duke and make Mary Duke's best friend. Now if they fight in the same army, they'll receive plus 20 combat strength. 20%, rather, not plus 20. That would be insane. Cool. All right, thank you, Mary. The last thing that I said I'd look at is the next era. As you saw at the start, the technology is divided into these sort of wedges, if you will. Very much building on the web-based system from previous Amplitude games. Looks very familiar to the first Endless Legend, of course, with some differences. And this also looks quite different from the demo version. I think the demo version had fewer bridged connections. It's also possible that this is just faction-specific, right? And that there are many factions that don't have these. But yeah, this is new. This is new to me. Lots of powerful stuff hidden in here. Anyway, for now, I've unlocked the second tier. So I could just move straight through if I don't want to get fortifications or bridges, which I kind of don't. So let's go through, maybe unlock some unique units and customization options for them. Or extra dust, because dust is literally everything to me. I'm going to go for a little bit of both. Science on the soul repositories is decent. Markets are decent. Let's queue that up. Let's queue that up. Maybe the unit promotions as well. Pretty good. Yeah. And I'll leave it there for now, because that's going to take 22 turns. Right, back up north here I see some more bugs to squash, but firstly, let's settle this territory and double that science. Here comes our friendly hero, quickly running after their best mate. Wait for me, you fool! Chonk that down, chonk you in there. Monsoon counter, only a few turns in so far. The bugs are trying to hunt me down, which is very bold. Actually, they might be trying to steal that discovery. So let's race them to it. We got it. And now they've triggered a fight. Really? I don't think this is going to go well for you, little swarm. I think you've miscalculated tremendously. Let me auto do that. Just. Yes, you can see also the experience gain down the bottom here. Everyone gained just a little bit of experience for squashing that stupid swarm. But the amount of dust that I made was outstanding. I've now got 1100. So I can quickly bounce through, heal up all the dudes. Where's my heal all button at? I don't know. And then jump in here, splash a bit of cash to get the second unique building, thus completing the challenge and getting the poison salts. Lots of words here, and I do appreciate that this is a very lore-driven game. Actually, a fantastically lore-driven, broader universe in the Endless universe. So part of me feels quite bad for skipping through it, and I do apologize. But at the same time, I'm going to keep doing it. 15 glass steel. What does that do? I don't have it yet, so I don't know. I need to destroy some Ockling scavengers. Oh, this will be a piece of cake. Wait there, guys. I'll be right with you. Right with you, bud. Do not move an inch. I am coming 1 turn timer at a time. Nearly there. Yep. Turning to attention. Very good. I mean, I don't need to do that fight. Let's just instantly wrap that up. Grab that resource and queue up the next one. Hopefully it'll be just as easy. It's not. Clear the fortress to get 1 heck of a sword. 2 resilience, 3 might, an extra 65 damage on hero, and 25% critical hit chance. Wow. Or the other option, a whole load of money and a trait. I could become a master manipulator, reducing the cost of future bribes by 25%. Whew. I feel like it's gotta be the sword. Cheaper bribes, tempting. Could save me money in the long run, but it's a legendary sword. Come on! We've got to take it. Cool. Alright. Fortress. Pretty far away, so I'm going to need to go on quite a journey to get up there. I see another event hiding here in this levitating curiosity, though. So we can probably meander our way up that way, all the way up to there. Grab that OBJ after a quick word from Mana or Madness. Spend some money to get some coral, get some money but lose 10 turns worth of 10 industry, or gain some science in exchange for approval. I think I'll just pay for the goods. Seems good. Yeah, seems good. And the glass steel up here, what does it actually do? It'll be used for things like unit improvements, or potentially some trade deals, maybe some districts. and I'll be able to buy or sell it on the market if I don't have a use for it. I think that's purely the category of those more, not exactly sure what the game calls them. Core resources? I'm not sure. And you know what? Actually, it doesn't matter, because here we have our first Tidefall event. In the demo version of the game, there were only 2 of these available, as you might remember, and the game would just end. But now that the game is out, I say in full, again, it's releasing in early access in full on the 22nd of September, but now that it's out, we're going to get more of those, and actually finally be able to explore the late game. The quick and dirty explanation, as you can see, the map opens up. The rain disappears, the clouds go away, and new territory becomes available, right? To the left there, literally in this cutscene. That land seemed to just pop out of the ground as the tides retreated. The yield on it tends to be really good too. I could turn the grid on down the bottom left here if I was a maniac. Look out for new opportunities as territories emerge. Blah, blah, blah. Fortresses are also available. As I was saying, the yields tend to be pretty good. Here you can see, none. Thanks a lot, me. Well, it's all barren, but it does have good stuff, I promise. There'll be good stuff down there somewhere. Ooh, some villages, some new people. Hey, there we go. That one's okay. All right, Jumbo, you're a lunatic. Get on with the show. Now that I'm a little deeper into the game, I think it's time to start separating out what I could call scouts and having them place down territories, like out here, just to kind of expand my reach. I don't necessarily need a whole load of extra cities, but it is a good idea. Just like it's always a good idea to squash bugs. Get out of here, you stupid bugs. You can see that the defenders as well, the kin, are also here. We'll let them just run off, and actually we'll let the stupid bugs run off too, because I've got bigger fish to fry, bigger crickets to crock up this way. The game's lore and the stories, the quests, are deeply tied to success. You kind of have to do it, right? You don't really have a choice. The level within which you engage, of course, can vary, but you really do have to do it. I'm unlocking some parts of the story. We've obviously got some other key ones to go, and I'll keep a sort of a broad look over these conditions, though I'm not entirely familiar with all of them yet. Plop down a quick camp there. The camps, of course, also should be providing me with 15 science, thanks to our counselor. So now that I've got 2 down, let's double check if that is actually working. Yes, it is. We're now getting 66 per turn. So, if I can just keep running this dude around, getting influence, neat, settling camps, even if they are atrociously bad, they'll give me science. So let's just do it. All the camps, all the way. You there, camp. Oh no, I don't have enough influence. Okay, carry on. But that is generally the plan, right? Even if I can't defend them all, I don't think it matters. Queue up as many technologies as possible. The way that I move through these eras is by literally just researching a certain number of techs. So you can see over here, 10 out of 16 required to get to the next era. So, long story short, the more science you have, the faster you'll research them. Faster you research them, faster you move through. Dead simple. I think camps will be my key here. What is going on here? No way we're getting... Is it because I settled in the new territory? It must be, right? I guess. It's just a fun little cutscene. Okay. I can specialize my unit here. You can see there are generally 2 specialization trees. It's no different here. One of them just requires dust. The other requires special resources. Because I don't have the special resources, I guess I just go for the dust one. Add 1 movement point to all units on the army with the patroller passive skill. Oh, the other one gives big damage. But I'll go for the movement. That's fine. Cool. Right, back to claiming you. You fast-moving little lad. Speaking of, let's go have a look-see at this. These are sort of the, forgive my Age of Wonders speak, but they are the wonders on the map. Fortresses, citadels, wonders, whatever you want to call them. We can raid them, fight them, and get great rewards. This one is level 2, which probably means that I won't be able to kill it. Fortress Scavengers, 923 power, I'm at 851. Huge number of rewards, and my only option is to plunder. Huh. It's tempting. I don't think I'm quite strong enough. It's my goal to clear the fortress. I could sacrifice this army at it. What have we got here? 5 defense. Okay. I'll cash that in. I still don't know if it's enough. Potentially there could be some upgrades as well, right? I could specialize this guy with a bit of cash, but I need to be in friendly territory. So perhaps I jump back here claim this territory, try and do a bit of specializing, upgrading, maybe send a new unit down as well. One thing I've completely neglected to do is train a unit. Let's have a look. What have we got? Got a Juggernaut ranged unit and a Huntress, as well as my 2 default ones. I think I'll get one of these Juggernaut ranged units, buy it out with cash. It looks cool. That looks awesome, actually. These like ghostly hands holding it up. That is wicked. Get it up that way. Maybe I can increase my strength enough to try and roll through the fortress in a few turns' time. Oh my goodness. Wandering around out here in this promised land since the Tidefall event has netted me, I don't know if you saw that last one, but just look at these curiosities. Bows and axes and all sorts. I don't know if they're actually any good. We could have a look at one of our heroes' equipment. Okay, actually, well, I mean, they're uncommon. Oh, these chest plates are fantastic, though. Anything upgraded's got to be better than the default ones. So if it's got a colored background, I'm chucking it on. Weapons-wise, 2 determination and 1 might. Looks better than the default. Again, same kind of logic applies as chuck it on. Currently not wearing any boots. How do you like black gel? In you get. Cool. Another small way to buff myself before I try and break into this fortress up to north. Let's try and swap out the weakest unit, which is likely this basic thrall. Sure. You can come out. You can go in. 999 power now. Very good. We could upgrade this one to give it a steady bow to increase its critical hit chance too. I'll have a little bit of cash next turn. So we'll just defend, maybe patrol around a bit down here, have a look at these great yields. Woohoo! It's actually more probably just the goodies, the resources, all that kind of thing. Like this cheeky resource hidden down here in this coastal water. Another one here that I'd love to take. So let's bring this unit back this way, claim that. We've got this one about to come online too. Goodness me. Alrighty, as promised a few turns later, the army is now much stronger thanks to an upgrade to this fallen knight as well. Let's march back over here and act like we own the place. I thought there was an option to take this over and turn it into a territory. Maybe not from me, maybe not in this build. Okay. I cannot insta-resolve fortress battles, so I must jump into the manual deploy. The game probably has my units deployed fairly intelligently. I mean, maybe the ranged unit wants to be on the higher ground, slightly further forward potentially if I'm going to go for a rush strategy, slightly further back if not. It also would be nice to not lose my heroes, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers, indeed. Let's take a look. Ugh. Okay, I think auto. You can't auto-resolve it from the get-go, but you can jump into the fight as if you were going to do it manually, and then auto-resolve. And I feel like, I feel like this ranged unit got punished and it was entirely my fault. I don't want this one to die as well. Let me jump back to manual. Just try and have a look at what's going on. Actually, I don't so much mind if they just want to dogpile. Holy AoE strike! Good heal, good heal! Okay, round 3 of 8. I've regained control. What am I dealing with? A very weak ranged unit that's about to perish. I'm going to need to try, I should say, and bring everyone together here. 2 heroes I want to try and keep alive as long as possible. Let's finish that one. Gifts of the Fallen, very good. I don't know why I ran to the low ground there, I didn't mean to. I think if you move your mouse around like this and then strike, the game will remember where you've moved your mouse, yeah. Which is actually quite cool. I just need to get used to that, because otherwise I'm going to constantly be walking myself down onto low ground. Let's try and stay away from this potential high ground, turn around, go that way and strike that unit. 3 dudes left up here versus his 2 dudes. It would be nice to have sort of an overall battle UI on the right-hand side of the screen, showing me how many units I've lost, how many units they've lost. I mean, I can kind of visualize it looking at the map, though the number of colors available are pretty limited, and it can be a little hard to decipher, I find, even for someone like me who's not that colorblind. I feel like I could also probably gamify this slightly more by stepping up onto the high ground and baiting them to walk toward me. The game seems keen to just play the fight out on low ground. Although, I mean, I think it's a 3v1. Finish him! Slowly, because he's a level 3 tyrant of the fortress, and it's actually just come down to hero on hero action. And it's a draw. Dude didn't like that I couldn't clear the fortress, and I think he was taunting me. Very rude. I'll unlock the charge ability for my second hero. They both have it now. And I think we just walk them straight back in. because this thing will stay weak. So I can quickly upgrade or specialize this guy. Dawnbreak has nothing to build because I've completely neglected it for a long time. Let's get some improvements down, like plus 10 science and 4 per population on scribes. Sure. And we'll get the geodesic dome as well. Big science buff. Meanwhile, back up here where things really matter, get the extra reinforcements down. This guy, probably I should heal him actually. 1 extra turn won't hurt. Down here we're fighting bugs in a 1v3 situation. I'm gonna have to retreat out of that. And it looks like I've accidentally stumbled on a bug hive with a terrifyingly large bug. The Ironhide. Right. Gonna need to pay attention to that soon too. Conflicting priorities, but I'd really love to get this finished up in the north first. So let's quickly march over here, jump back in for the plunder. It's a 1v3, so I can go manual battle and auto-resolve. And we'll just quickly tidy that up. Round 3, no casualties. Bam, there it is. Fork in the road is done. Alright, now that's out of the way. I probably need to start the next quest. Perhaps? Hard to say. Here we go. The fork in the road continues. This time around I need to have at least 10 territories for 5 turns. So that's just a straight up, expand out, keep claiming stuff. Alright, I can do that. I can actually do it here while I retreat, so I'll place one down, run away. Let's focus in on the city. I think a couple of extra units are going to be necessary. Let's replace the ranged unit from before, maybe get an extra knight. Spend a little bit of money to buy one of those as well, because I don't like this burgeoning bug threat on my border. There's the victory. Before I forget, let's jump into this hero screen and give this guy one heck of a sword. Woof. Currently getting 1 might, 46 and 5. Here we're getting 3 might, 2 resilience, 65, 25. Goodness. I might just sit here and admire that for a minute. That is fantastic. Power slash 3. I mean, it's too good. I think my best bet at keeping and holding these territories is going to be to keep them as close together as possible, rather than focusing on which ones are necessarily the best or forward settling anybody too much. Try and keep them as close as I can, and as close to armies as I can, because, as previously mentioned, these bug guys are going to be a real pain in my bug side, I think. So let's march this spooky floating chair down here, scare off a couple— Hey! He duped me! Duping the dupes! I got duped! Shocking. Alright, anyway, moving along. Sociological truths are being unveiled, apparently. Some science and approval. Lose science and industry. Lose dust but gain science. I think we spend the dust for the science and the approval over here. Cool. Very good. I should probably also try and build this up a little more. I haven't built a district in what feels like far too long. Also haven't really claimed much in a long time because I've been spending all of my influence claiming territories rather than building foundations. And you know what? I don't intend to change that anytime soon. Let's carry on! For the researchers flowing thick and fast, as well as some fairly easy upgrades. Maybe I should buy some of this stuff. It's a little expensive. I don't think I will. I think I'm better off just getting the probably worse, but easier to access dust upgrades. Build a cheeky Lord's estate, and maybe a foundation as well. Join them up. Just because I think that's visually appealing, and now they actually look like one city. Was it a waste of influence? You know, it really might have been. It really might have been. The thing that I really like about the openness of this technology tree, despite its division into years, which obviously makes sense, it's kind of like an ages system, let's be real, is the fact that you can sort of just reach out to anything. I just noticed that geology gives cheaper found camp cost by 1/4, and I can't help but think that that probably would have been better a little earlier on, given I'm fairly limited in how I can generate influence. As well as these probably pretty basic improvements, right? Nonetheless, most of the technologies are good. We're now at 130 science, 75 of which is coming from our councillor, Duke Eric Mombrook. Very good. More than everything else combined easily. Thank you, Duke. You're a legend. I think I've just realized, these bugs aren't running to fight me. I think they're running through to get to this territory. There's a really giant looking thing back here. Hello, bug squashers. A very good day to you. I don't think I want to fight you, and it looks like the bugs didn't either. They've ran off. You know, I can't fight that. We need a hightail out of there. I could bring the heroes down, and in fact, I should. I'm just lingering around here to claim one more territory, so I guess I'll just sort of mosey about. Sure, it's fine. Okay, bugs out of the way. It's time to talk to the 1,000 crazy little blue devil babies inside. You'll see what I mean. Let me bribe them. Did we get one? Yes, we did. The Pantanal, a juggernaut unit with one upgrade line. Fantastic. What a fantastic thing. It's a bunch of tiny little glowing blue alien-looking babies inside of a big body. I think two small people in a big trench coat pretending to be an adult. Okay. Right, anyway, moving swiftly along from that, we'll pacify those dudes, claim their territory as well while we're at it. Alright, territory to the north in Roche has now been claimed, putting me at 8 out of 10. So I just need to get 2 more. I've got the bugs down here being buggy annoying, but I've also got these guys kind of trespassing in. I don't really want to have to fight them, but I also don't want them around here. Bosh. Scare them out. Get out of there! They retreated from the battle. Good. I'm sorry to fight you. You're peaceful, but, you know, I mean, come on. Come on. Alright. Things are looking pretty good. The next expansion event isn't for a while. At some point, my shall we call it a strategy of building territories, getting the science, and not upgrading them from camps is going to fail me. Because I'm not building cities. And cities are actually very good. And I think that point's going to come up fairly soon. At some point soon, Duke here, providing me with half of my science, is going to stop doing that, and I'm going to move towards districts, and, you know, populations, scribes instead, I think. And I think I might do that very soon, actually. However, the upside to this camp surging science is a new era. And this era brings the Dust Lord, my first flying user, mounted on half-living basilisks, afflicted with the same curse as their riders. Dust Lord's a terrifying element. Cool. Yeah, no, it looks good. Looks really good, actually. Population-wise, huge amount of space for extra pops. Should probably buy some. Should also probably buy some of these districts, which have been building forever, so I'll do that instead, I think. As well as recruiting heroes, I can also hire mercenaries, which is this option up the top here next to recruit hero. It obviously costs money. Go figure, right? But I can get access to different populations, different types of heroes. They don't tend to be as good, but they do bring some extra abilities, like Hard Bargainer, a counselor trait which gives minus 30% dust to buy out on city. I think that basically means a 30% discount to most things that I want to do with my dust. So I'm going to spend a lot up front to hire that mercenary and add old Acid Clicker. And here, an Acid Clicker is going to be best friends with Bishop Anna Magda, because obviously they're a match made in heaven. Look at these two cuties. Very good. Right, where are you? Here you are. Both of them, in fact, are here. Chuck in a couple of attribute points. Do we have any extra equipment these guys can use? Not really. What about you? No, not really. That's fine, though. Basic new heroes. Just get in there. Actually needed them for the extra reinforcements down this way. So I'll now have 2 full armies. Slightly more than 2 full armies. Oh, hey, look, this is cool. So I've built a lord's estate on top of this pacified village right next to the capital. And there's this little roundup ability here. Transfer 3 of the populations, the daughters of Boar, from the village to my city. There's a 10% chance of rebellion, and rebellion will cause the village to unpacify itself, causing rebel armies to appear again. It's neat. I'm gonna do it. Nice. No downside. 3 extra population. 15 science on quarry. Okay. I don't even think I have any quarries. What I actually came in here to look at was the population. Yeah, there they go. Look at them. Alright, let's use the sacrifice effect then to churn them into better populations. Dare I say it. Goodness me. Alright. Well, keep on keeping on. We'll linger around here for the next camp, which is now a little bit cheaper, thankfully. Maybe I'll chop down a forest while I'm here. No, I think I'll hold my ground and end my turn. One more turn I'll be able to do it. The ability has stopped working immediately, and I'm not entirely sure why. I think being full on scribes is probably the best idea. Don't really care about a lot of the other yields, although the artisan yield is decent. Keep building. Plop down a territory here. Have at least 10. Wait, I've lost territory. Oh no! Okay. Okay. This is a problem. So the downside to not connecting them up to a city is they can be very easily pillaged. And I can't lie to you. I find it very easy to miss if I'm not paying attention and focusing on something else. I fear it's going to happen up here. Could have gone with the shut borders, could have gone with a more aggressive diplomatic approach. Okay, they've just skipped over top of that. That's all good. I think what we're probably going to have to do is teach them a lesson, though, which is really unfortunate. You know, it didn't have to be this way. It really didn't. A lot of stuff here as well I'm realizing I haven't actually explored all that well. Primordial last sword population scaling bonuses likely missing out on. The diplomatic screen is down the bottom right here, down by the turn timer monsoon tracker. Let's have a look. I mean, we don't actively dislike each other. Could go non-aggression, but now that they've got the better of me, I kind of don't want to. I should have done it earlier. Closed borders, also an option. Just shut them out, say, get out of here, buddy. Sure. We'll shut the borders, cut any more of this nonsense off now. It's a real waste of my influence, but hey, I need to stem the flow of territories flowing out of my control, as it were. Let's also run up here, try and go 1, 2, 3. You repeatedly trespass on their territories while their borders weren't open. Deal with it, bug boy. Something on the shore is a new event that's just popped up as I've been exploring in and around this territory. And I've decided to go for the fight option because it gives me 800 dust. And it looks like a super easy fight. I dodged these during the demo because I thought, well, you know, it must be a pretty hard fight. Nope. Really not. It's kind of just free experience, free money. And I should not have been a coward that whole demo time. I can't believe it. What a coward I am. What I'm going to have to do is use that money to get influence, because influence is what I'm really short on. So districts like the Forum could be bought out to increase my influence per turn. I could use dust, of course, up here to buy out more population. Scribes are providing me with some dust. Maybe this jellyfish-looking ass wants to become a scribe. I mean, sure. Let's actually fill up the scribes, because they're great. No approval cost. Just straight up science and influence. Two things I'm a huge fan of alongside dust, as luck would have it. Now I just have the influence to start hoovering up these last territories. We've got our borders closed to that maniac in the north. And, you know, Bug Boy is a little limited in only having one city. Big armies, though, so let's try and keep our dudes a little closer together. I'll retreat this one back this way, and hope like heck that these guys, the kin, don't settle this territory. Because then I'm going to be kind of stuck. Going to have to reach out this way, it's going to be awkward, it's going to take far too long. A monsoon has come to Sayada. Okay, double the battle spoils, reduced range, plus 20 health regeneration. This is monsoon season, right? The map has, of course, changed again, lasting somewhere between 1 and 21 turns. Let the games begin, baby! I would really love to fight this guy. We got bug boys over here as well. They look like a juicy target. Let's actually just squeeze up this way and scare them off. Back down there for that discovery. In fact, we might route these dudes down. We've got a new congressional appointment to make, and some rather interesting dudes looking to vie for the spot. 2 dust on district. Straight up buff to how much money I'm going to make per turn. Seems good. Or minus 30% buyout cost. I don't know which is better, but I'm going to go for Acid Clicker. And I was going to say we'll come back to it, but it's hard when those abilities are so marginal and the calculation is quite complex. It's hard to figure out whether I should actually come back to that or not. Part of me thinks it's probably better not to unless something is obviously better. Like, this is obviously something I'm going to need to look into. This guy is in my territory, which is obviously a huge no-no. 1600 power versus 800. Yeah, I would run away too, buddy. We should chase him down. Stuff the discovery. It's time for revenge. For the sins of our fathers will not be forgotten. What can I get out of this? 1 unseeing seer population. 800 bucks. Let's take the 800 bucks. Another fight. I don't even know where the units that I'm meant to be fighting have appeared. And it doesn't matter. Let's use the money to buy stuff out. Buyouts are always good. Speaking of which, I reckon a Dust Lord could be pretty fun. It's going to cost me 1800 bucks though, so it's really overkill. I might just buy 2 populations here instead, putting me just about at full pop count. suggests to me more districts are needed rather than dust lords and dragons. But that's okay. I think I have one foundation, and I'm building a dust district on it. Of course I am. You know what? Fine. You do you. These question marks, though, I do need to get to the bottom of them. Thankfully, this stupid moron has came back for round 2. Quickly! Insta fight! Insta fight! Oh, he got away! Alright, next time we take him. No holes barred. Straight in there. Oh, look, is he going to come back for round 3? No freaking way. He's not quite. We'll push up on him. I don't mind jumping into his territory to do it either. Boom! Yes! Okay. A few things happened. I had a unit eliminate 10 other units without dying, which is obviously great. But more importantly, Duke Unwinnable Weybridge can build his haven. A special, unique district for each hero. It's very cool. We made $500. We didn't lose a single unit. We gained a whole load of experience and took down one of their heroes. That is extraordinarily good. I wonder if I keep pushing. You know, 2 can play at this aggressive game, buddy. You want to get aggressive? I will show you. Speaking of aggressive, I think I go for the extra damage. Just basically on every hero. Call me boring, but extra damage is extra damage, right? And technologically speaking, what's the militarist one here? Propaganda machines, better defenses. I'm really not a defensive player, so I don't think I need that so much. So, the monsoon push is on. I see another army of 5 and 5. And Mr. Krabs, I've got an idea. We need to push that before the reinforcements arrive. So let's chuck in the hero points on, I think, both of these. Yes. Wonderful stuff. Spend 3 more hero points to unlock the next tier. Okay, I do have the tier 2 abilities, though. When conducting a pillage, raid, or occupation, earn extra dust. I feel like I might be doing a bit of that. Sure, let's lean into it. Stuff it. And as I was saying, I'd like to run up here and fight this. It looks to me like their reinforcements are within range, though. So it's going to turn into a bloodbath. Hold that thought, I think. I think I need to bounce back to friendly territory and heal. At least this big lad. He wanders back that way. Probably all of them, actually. Yeah, I'll do them all. I'll do them all. Complaining about a heal all button before, but it's actually right in front of my face. Very typical. And in we go, he says incredibly hesitantly. 1400 versus 1700. He's running away. That's a good result for me, because it means that I can win every time. Don't tell me the storm is over, I was only just getting started, no! Alright, that's our second monsoon event out of the way. I know I've mentioned the demo a lot, and if you didn't play the demo, you're like, why does this guy keep talking about a freaking demo? But this is where the demo would have ended. Did quite a few streams, quite a few playthroughs. So this is kind of the spicy bit. I could end the video here and say, join me next time for part 43, but I think we'll just keep going. Right, let's just keep on keeping on. Make this a monstrous video. Right, tidefall has occurred. New territories have appeared, fortresses and other strange things. Strange things like doom wraiths. These bad boys are very scary. Very scary. Did somebody say understatement of the year? I think they did. Also, looks like we've got something really annoying going on over here. I could attach it to a city for 200. Wonder if I can make a city. Okay, hear me out. If I can quickly make a city, it's gonna have to be one that's adjacent. So like this territory here with its 2 resource deposits that I can insta-build these fantastic things on. Let's do it. 1, 2 with my gold. Then we'll evolve it into a city. Nice. And then very, very quickly, if the game will let me do it, attach. It won't. Okay, because it's being captured. I figured it probably wouldn't, but I thought I would check just in case. Dang it! Okay, I'll attach this one up instead. It's close by. It'll provide a little bit of extra benefit. Let's chuck it onto Stonehold. Stonehold currently has 1 corruption from nearby Doomwraith. Not ideal, but it's a fantastic little place. Maybe some defensive districts might be a good idea down here. Oh no! I haven't researched stonework! And it's somehow going to take me 5 turns. I guess it scales with every technology researched. I mean, it must, because that's insanely slow. Alright. Moving on. While they fight me down here in the south, I'm going to continue my push up in the north then. So be it. You want to fight? It's a fight you'll get! And you know what? I might just take a territory as well. Take control of the territory, plunder it for its resources, or destroy it. Obviously, we'll take control. It's only going to take a turn. So with a quick end turn button done, that's it. At the heart of the Empire, 3 very different characters petition for 3 very different responses to the awakening of this world's lost. I feel like that's a me problem for later on. The me for now wants to wipe out these units. Have a look-see here. Looks great. It looks really great, actually. Unlike the early insta-resolves from Humankind's early days, these days it's an insta-resolve, insta-success. Neat. Being able to heal straight away here is so good as well. Spending the cash, right? I get my upgrades straight away, I use my skill points straight away, and I get to heal up to full, so I can just keep bashing people. Speaking of knocking people off, I've decided, you know what? I could spend more influence founding more territories, founding more camps, but actually, there are a lot up here that I've founded already. So, I'm actually going to just flat out go on the aggressive. It only takes a turn to capture a lot of this crap. This guy can't do crap about it because he has no armies up here. So let's reoccupy and retake basically everything, while also keeping an eye on this encroaching Doomwraith in my new city down south here. It seems to be happy to just chill on the border. This is also a very conflicted border. But for now, touch wood, it seems fine. So the conquest rolls on. Who's next? I best fight these loose units on my way, just to stop them from taking it back with 1 unit, which would be massively annoying. There's stonework and some hideous ass thing. It's another Doomwraith. It's a Necromancer Doomwraith. Probably don't want to fight that guy just yet. That guy's still chilling. Very good. Occupation number 3, the occupation of En Roche, is done. To move any further into their city, I'm going to need to declare war, though. The key benefit of camps versus cities again. So, for my last trick and my final territory to claim, I think I should get the one that's right next to where I started. I'll sweep back through this way, stop Bug Boy from taking that, leave this army up here to stop this guy from taking that, maybe even connect some stuff up. Oh, of course, the bugs were actually just sacking it rather than capturing it, so fighting them is a big deal, but not massive, right? I can sort of get away with not doing it. Just like I can get away with not building any forts, seemingly for a very long time. Sneak down here, grab territory 10 out of 10. Yeah, you know what? There's fine. The yield sucks, but it doesn't really matter. It's the 10th one. And I am at your service. -1 population. Influence cost for bait a Doomwraith action is reduced over here. Armies attacked in this territory suffer damage. Let's pay for the cheap discount, because it's a little funky and a little different to everything else. And then I'll take 2 population in exchange for 10 influence income, because that is a sick move. Very good. And I feel like it's now finally time for me to start using influence to actually build cities, or at least expand districts, right? So I've done a little bit of expansion out to the left here. Tiles that produce 2 yields tend to be better than 1. That being said, I do like dust, so maybe we just grab a little bit of extra dust. Or tiles that are adjacent to good ones. Adjacent to places where we already have a lot of districts, like here. This Monument of the Lost is going to take a whopping 70 turns to build. Maybe not. Maybe not this time. No, I don't think so. Extra industry or extra money is probably just the go-to good one for me. 14 dust on a district. Thank you, ma'am. That super expensive monument is in fact one of the victory conditions under the awakening conditions. The race for the world. Each empire's ranking and the victory path concerned with the world's awakening. Kind of hard, right? Diversity worship. 80 populations of different types. Of 1 different types. Strangely worded, but you get the idea. 15 monuments to the lost. And 6 technologies from the final era. I could impress the world instead by hoarding 20 strategic resources of 6 different types, which I could also buy. And be happy with other empires. Diplomat. Or I could master it, likely the aggressive one, control 25 territories, and clear 20 fortresses. Interesting. Very interesting. And it looked there like I could sort of choose a path, one or the other. And then we have a story which has moved through the Tidefalls now, plus overall crap. 200 turns remaining. Whew. So if I click change my path, I get this event, where I can choose between having the 80 populations of different types, building the monuments or getting the research. Hoarding resources, in opinion, could be easiest. Or go big, control territories, which I'm already doing a lot of. Okay, we'll try that. I'll swap to that for now. I feel like it's marginally easier than the rest, particularly if I can continue to be this aggressive. Whoa. I like this mini-map. I like this overall look, actually. The spookiness, the corruption of the territory. It's very cool. Hey, what? Oh my god. Buddy. Quickly evolve this one up north into a city. That will give me 3 out of 3 cities. Very good. And crucially stop the enemy from taking it. Buy a population, maybe connect this up as well. Attach it to Eastwatch, get this guy out of here. He's now officially trespassing in my lands as well. If I turn this one into a city, then I'll avoid this nonsense from happening again and again. And I think I do have the city cap to do it, actually. Now that I've remembered I can buy population, I might also pop down here and buy a couple of these out as well. Try and get the approval up. Just generally try and improve these places. Right, the enemy unit is having to flee through my cities, which I love to see. Let's now engage a battle right in the heart of the territory. Get out of here! Get out of here! Buy this unit because it's becoming clear to me that I don't have the military to defend everything. I really don't. And they're going to gun for this territory and try and destroy it as well because it's not attached. Insane. Thankfully, I can snake these guys back this way, probably defending it in time, though it is going to be close. This unit can also instantly be upgraded. Ooh, with a special resource! Yes! Getting 15% damage and 2% per veterancy level, per upgrade experience level. I'm really torn here. On the one hand, I need to go down and defend this. On the other hand, I mean, look at this. Very juicy. Very juicy. Yeah. I think I'll take out 5 more of their units and make a little bit of cash on the side. Maybe a little upgrade while I'm here. And we're meeting the new AIs as I jump into a fight here on turn 102. If I jump into the diplomatic screens, probably the best way to see them. You can see the coral spreaders, the diplomatic coral spreaders, as well as the scientific curators are here. Should we share some research? Science bonuses for both cities, already discovered technologies. Sure, let's have a deal. Let's make a science deal with the science guy, and maybe a maps deal with this coral guy. Signing this treaty will give additional dust and influence to both empires based on the quantity of coral exploited. I don't think I have a lot of coral yet, so that probably doesn't benefit me all that greatly. And I don't really want to do an immigration treaty, so I think we'll leave the diplomacy there for now. A huge number of discoveries have taken place as well after sharing maps. Woof. It's very empty over here. Look at this. Peaceville. Just a whole lot of dudes chilling, not claiming anything. You come over here and it's this bug-infested madness. I'm just trying to get to the 10 territories. That's all. That's all. Here on turn 103, I have my very first Dust Lord that's just finished. Look at it in all of its glory. And it looks like I can instantly upgrade it too. So the money upgrade adds damage to the next attack during this battle round. And a little bit of extra. This one, which I can do thanks to having the resource, recovers health equal to 35% of damage dealt, so it's a leeching strike, a vampiric ability, and applies terrorized 2 to targets. They lose the damage. That is so cool. Heck yeah. Wicked. It's costing me a lot of dust to roll this bad boy around the map, but I don't think it's a decision I'll regret. Let's try and slot it into a powerful army. I'm not even sure where my second army went. Oh, there they are. Just chilling, just defending up here. Okay, we'll buff them. Send the big dragon over. God, what a glorious beast it is, too. I think I might need to send this army north to claim a new territory up here because it is just an empty promised land full of resource, but also because this Doom Wraith is getting quite annoying. A non-aggression pact from a friend of mine has just come through. Absolutely, I didn't actually mean to spend resource on that, but... Thanks for the deal, bud. As I was saying, heading up here to get rid of this will help remove this corruption, which is really harming my city, visually and practically in terms of its production and so on. Fairly powerful army, even though there's only 4 dudes. We've got our brand new Dreadlord unit in here, and oh boy, it's going to be tough. Actually going to lose a hero. Don't worry, they'll respawn. This scavenger unit won't, though. Okay. I hope the Luminous Claw was worth it. It probably was. It looks decent. Alright, with 10 territories under my belt now, finally, having claimed a little one up the top here, all I have to do is hold on to them for 5 turns, and I will have this quest done. Obviously, the best way to do that is probably just going to be to keep units directly on top, so that bugs can't frustratingly run in here and destroy it. Likewise up here, I'll keep these 2 dudes just poised, seated on top of this camp, and work my way through the 5 turns to get this done. I could also look to attach them to nearby cities, but I think I'm currently still restricted. Yes, I'm at 2 out of 2, so I'd have to make new cities out of them, and I'm kind of at my city cap limit as well, so I think I'll just move through. And there it is! The fork in the road has finally been dealt with. Unlocks faction trait, national preferences, plus 0.5% last lord buyout bonus. Very good. Feels worthwhile. Indeed, it does. Destroy a Doomwraith specimen to get Vein of the Noble. Damn, I wish I didn't preemptively destroy that Doomwraith a few turns ago. Yike. Luckily, I suppose, for me, there is actually another one down here that's just been chilling down here for a super long time, slowly corrupting Stonehold. Yeah, I think I'll go and deal with that, and that can be 2 birds with 1 stone. Oh, another event, hold the phone. Gain a unit, a Harper, or Lone Wolf on the Duke. The Harper unit looks really cool, but Lone Wolf on the Duke is probably better. The Duke benefits, some of the Duke's abilities benefit from having those effects, right? So if I jump in here, we go Skill Tree, he now has 4 Resilience, 4 Determination, and something like this receives extra damage. Damage? Put your Kiwi accent away. It receives extra damage based on the number of perceived abilities that are attached to it. Okay, good. Whoa! Prime, one who stalks afar, has declared war on me. Okay. Demand that the Empire surrender and pay you tribute. White peace or offer surrender. At the moment, not a lot has been done, but that's what our sort of war overview looks like. I see a power balance up here, and I think it's leaning toward me. That's a good start. Alright, let's start kicking some bug ass. Slay that bug. Run him into my territory. Not to worry, we have a 5 army down here that'll march through this way. Slay that bug. Very good. Scare it off, at least. Maybe plant down a forest while it's walking by. Why not? The downside is that this city is under immediate siege from the bugs. Thankfully, it's a fairly weak swarm, and my standing army is probably good enough that I can just sortie out, insta-resolve, clear them away. Okay, good to know. I do only have 1 unit standing here, and the city is currently being plagued, so it can't really do much. But if I queue up a unit, I can buy it out. So I'll sit that there, maybe come back to it and buy it out. Obviously these guys, the Doom Wraiths, aren't my #1 priority right now because old Bug Boy has jumped ahead. And you know what? I might be able to make him pay. Ooh, tricky though. I'm not sure I'll be able to pull off that siege with just these 5 units. But if I wait just a couple more turns, bring this extra hero down, the dragon is close to being bought too, I might actually just be able to take this territory. Welcome to a new era offering new technologies. This is era 4, I think, now, on turn 119. Stuff's getting pretty exciting, right? Yes. The Years of Revelation. These give +1 unit slot to each army, nice, city cap, a whole load of experience for militia, and draws a hero from a draft of 4, so we get a new hero. Does anything change as we move through? Not really. City cap, literally nothing. Oh man, we're getting close to the juicy stuff. Hello, Supreme Fealty. That'll be our extra upgrades. I could predict the season a little bit better down here with Aquadynamics. Aquadynamics, maybe even? Sure, let's get the dust on soul repositories, on Lord's Estates. I already have plenty of those built. Try and lean into the things that I'm already doing well, I think. Gah. Even in the middle of this bug war, the supposedly fairly passive Natalia is just going after me. I could take the non-aggression pact, I guess. 180 dust, it's fairly affordable. What I might do before that is just destroy this army. Because, stuff you for invading me, essentially. Heal up the dudes so the bugs can't take advantage of me. And, ooh, maybe get another skill. When recovering health, applies inspired to adjacent units. Sure, just chuck more good stuff on, why not? Now that that's done, I'll get that pact signed. They should no longer run in and start destroying all of my crap, and that will allow me to temporarily shift focus onto the much more pressing task of Bug Boy over here. What does the siege look like? 1,000 versus 1,100. It's not great. We'll wait for a better opportunity, I think, to launch that. Get these guys a little closer, maybe. Any extra dudes around want to help with the fight? This guy's 6 turns away, I'll buy it out. I think we need all hands on DECK at this stage. Upgrades as well, yeah, sure, all of the power, literally all of the power. Bugs are scuttling around like crazy to get into position down here. I see another enemy coming in for a little look. By holding the siege, I will breach the defenses and generally make the battle easier. So we have, what, 4 currently? 5 new breaches in 2 turns, so I could continue for 2 more turns. Burn down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of those tiles. I suppose. I don't really need the 2 turns. I don't think it's going to make a difference in terms of training a unit and getting it over here, but, you know, I'll allow it. Don't know what... don't know what this quest did. Oh, there we go. It's for a scythe. Alright, so I need to destroy a Doomwraith and just clear a fortress up that way. The game is still trying to inspire me, if you will, to keep exploring. Keep looking, keep hunting. I think, actually, it's kind of the design inspiration behind the whole Tidefall events, if I were to guess. Again, it's a little crude to say it's just an ages system, but I think it probably approaches that same thing that Civilization 7, for example, was trying to approach. How to make the later game more interesting. And, you know, maybe they'll pull it off. Maybe. I've got so much influence, I feel daft for not settling any camps nearby. So I guess I'll keep settling camps. Likewise, attaching cities, evolving into cities. I could probably look to do all of it. Or take a city. And just as I'm about to take said city, a monsoon season has arrived. Another season. You know what? That's probably a good thing for me, though. The siege cannot produce any more breaches in the wall. So let's go for the assault. I obviously have 1,000 points worth of reinforcements. Surprise! So this shouldn't be too hard. I am going to lose my my bishop. But that's okay. Absolutely squash the district. Acid Clicker has even available. So too does the bishop. 2 best buds. And let's take control of the territory and its districts rather than sacking or raising it. I think I'll take this for my own. It's a nice little pickup right in the heart of my territory. And we will refuse this white piece demand because, as you can see, we're dominating. No thank you. I'm a little busy. For my 4th council slot, Mary Bridges is going in, giving +2 dust on districts. A noticeable boost of about 100 dust a turn, and obviously that'll keep scaling the more districts I build. Speaking of which, the capital, the Crapital, has been at capacity for so long. I think I need to build more communal habitations here so that we have jobs for populations so that they're not thrown into this destitute category, but they can actually grow and fill the positions. It's not the greatest district to build in terms of yield, but I mean, I've got to do it. I've just got to. Alright, turn 130, the bug den is mine, which means that I can quickly heal up all of these dudes that have been bravely standing around capturing bug dens for a very long time. Good. What does it actually do? Attach to city, evolve to city. Right. It's a bug city. It's a bug city with a titanium mine. Smack bang in the middle of actually a decent spot. Let's do it. Bam. And then I can finally also attach this territory up, he says, as it's currently being swarmed by bugs. Quickly get back up there. Right, a few bugs stomped later. Let's attach Savimar to our new city. It's worth noting that this is a nest. Armies can use the nest to enter the underground tunnels, allowing them to move to other burrows or nests within range, like that one up there, I'm guessing. So, yeah, we've picked up a little bit of a bug ability as well. Not the end of the world, and it's also put me in a reasonable spot so that shortly we'll be able to take care of this Doomwraith specimen and complete this long-standing quest. In fact, let's position the units to do that right now. The source of these Doom Wraiths, by the way, is this rift. During Tidefall, the rift will grow, spawning horrors and Doom Wraith armies. And they are truly horrific. Anyway, here's one I've prepared earlier, as well as, a rogue hero. I know those units. I know those pink mohawks. For now, let's take out the Doom Wraith. I've got 2 grand power. It's only got 1. It's a clean sweep. 5 for 5. And a luminous plate as well. It was not the Doom Wraith specimen I was looking for, though. Oh, man. It has to be this specific one. Okay. Right. Change path, then. Alright, you second Doom Wraith and not the one that I need to destroy. Be gone with you! Another one down. Another one bites the dust. Heroes leveling up like there's no tomorrow, which is always good to see. The overarching goal here is not just to add 1 movement point, which is a nice touch. I need to get to this damn specimen. Where are you? Here. By a 3-wide rift, and probably only a couple of turns away. Hopefully, I don't get destroyed while I turn my back. I see. I see. So it turns out that the Doom Wraith specimen is actually its own beast. This specific specimen shall perish. It's only 400 strength. I mean, it's easy as. Whose forefathers? Now I need to get over this way and clear this objective. Though I do have an army wandering around. They've got 1,000 strength. They've just been meandering around in the background, up here, slowly claiming territories, while we've been discussing the game and playing through the game. So, good news that they've been doing it. They're already there. They're already ready. Already ready. Have at least 20 glass steel for 5 turns. Will unlock me a flying hero, Duke Palazzo. Okay. Bye. Just, sure. It's a little costly, but I can spam a whole load of cash out because I've got so much dust. And just grab the 20, right? 20? Have at least 20 for 5 turns? Cool. Okay, sweet. Well, we could probably consider that one done pretty soon. Might go down here and bribe off these Heprons to hook an extra unit in. What did we get? A Screecher. Very good. Maybe there'll be another one for sale over that way too. And with that, it looks like yet another weather-based event is happening. The map is changing yet again. And to hark back to that idea that I was talking about earlier, another sort of layer of exploration, if you will, right? To use a very tried and true metaphor, it's like an onion. The map has many layers, and here comes some more of it being revealed as we speak. Right, now that the bad weather has cleared, let's take a look at what we've got here. It's a level 1 fortress. Should be very takeable for this army. March over there and get that done. Old Bug Boy would like peace. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of dominating you, bud. However, there isn't really a lot I can do. I can't ask for an extra city. The diplomatic options are pretty limited, long story short. So, I don't know, I guess we just sort of, forgive the pun, but we just sort of tied him along and then offer him a peace deal. I had about 91 war support. He had something like 9. Let me jump back in. Surrender demand. Demand that the Empire surrender and pay you 3,045 tribute. Let's send that. They refused your demand. Dude, I mean, I can crush you if you like, but I feel you should have taken the deal, no? Holy luxuries, we've got access to a lot of these now. I say we've got access, I don't actually have many, but looks like there are a shite load in the game as we move through into the slightly later game. Anyways, back to the fortress. Let's jump straight in. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Here I can choose to plunder or seize. Perhaps last time I already had the territory. After defeating the fortress's hostile army, we'll build a camp. Yes. Manual battle. Yes. Auto-resolve. You bet. And huzzah! Through the magic of television and a kind of boring auto battle, I'm not gonna lie. The quest is done. An uncommon mounted scythe is really pretty terrible compared to what I've got so far. But we achieved a deed. Before any other empire, you've reached the objective of a deed. Yep, I gathered that. Open the quest journal for more details, for Christ's sake. Be the first to claim 15 territories. There it is. Okay, +5 industry on works districts. That's really good, actually. Like, crazy good. Loads of gear now to unlock. Got heroes walking around without boots on, just getting, like, cuts all over their feet. Basic chest plates and weapons that can be swapped out now for better equipment. Loads of different types of equipment, it's got to be said. I think they do still need to add a little bit more to fleshing out the system, but for an early preview of an early access build, I really love the character development that they've gotten here. I haven't really been able to experience the nemesis and enemies part yet. Probably works best if you have an enemy hero that you're constantly fighting with, they're coming back to life, like the ruler of another nation, I would say. I also haven't built any of my havens, which are fun little districts that can provide pretty nice yield. It'll be one of these options. Build hero haven. Like that. I don't know whether building it there was a very good idea, but that's kind of how it works if you didn't see it during the demo. And this is what it looks like in action. Haven built. As you can see, it's a little district. If I move the dudes off, you'll actually be able to see it. And I think we can improve it. I can't quite recall how, whether it's built directly on it or through technologies or upgrades, but it does play a role, and it's a decent one. Ooh, I can also restore some of this crappy territory. Cool. Up to the north here, I see another foundry I can clear. I might actually just go on a rampage. In order to fuel that, I'm going to need to keep walking along, bribing these independent people. I mean, here's a Doom Wraith. Ugh. Little busy, sorry. I've got places to clear. Seizing them along the way will, of course, build the territories for me as well. Build the encampments for me. So it's great results all round as I sort of march my way across with this northern army. Or while I remember, I also need to build these resource improvements. Just like in Humankind, you can spend, well, in this case, a little bit of dust to get these online. While you've got a camp over a territory, so it doesn't have to be a fully fledged city. It's totally fine for it to just be a camp like this one here. Here's another one, 375 dust. I'll look to try and do this fairly aggressively, actually, while also spending money on bribes while I can. There's a lot going on up here in the north. And their whole wanting to increase exploration by slowly expanding out the map with tidefall events, or changing the map even with tidefall events, early on does seem like a pretty good idea, actually. It's having the desired effect on me, in that this video is turning into a monstrably long one, because I don't want to stop playing, and I am sort of slowly exploring out. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Holy crap! Oh, this hero, that I don't know if you remember, but one of the previous events gave me this hero, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, cool, hero, whatever. I'm not even talking during it. I'm like, this won't even make it into the edit. The video's already too long. And then I look at this dude, and he's level 25. What? Okay, so there are a couple of skills that are all about damage that I've picked already, right? We've got Death Blow here, ignores the defense of targeted units, deals 40 damage plus 5 extra per determination, and 3 extra for might. This one here also gets extra damage for might and determination. It's a passive skill, so it happens all the time. I think that's a great idea. We'll also add the siege benefit to it. And while we're here, because I would like to unlock the next tier, I'm going to get extra experience, extra health, extra damage against minor factions. No, terrorized, actually. Let's go terrorized. That'll unlock the next tier. Oh, and some very far out ones. 3 max health per unit eliminated. Capture points per turn, movement. Crucially though, Deathlier Blow is now unlocked. 7 extra damage per determination. 5 per might. Right, so I've got 16 points. Can you see where this is going? Determination. Bam, 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 bam. 16. Highly determined. Holy cow! That's one determined lad right there. 5 extra damage per determination. 5 times 16 is 80. That's pretty good. That's very good. This guy is insane. And I need to search Aspect's Foundry. Okay, it's kind of far away, but I've got some armies nearby. I can probably take these 4 dudes who have been standing around, merge them up with the greatest hero of all time, and go for a little jaunt. There's another flying unit down here that I trained earlier. Very powerful little dragons. So we'll merge that up here and just make a stupidly good army. In fact, let's do it right now and check out this combat strength. These guys are slightly weak, but that's okay. 2,000. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Forward march. There's been a Doom Wraith meandering around in my territory down here for quite some time. So while the new army is working their way through, they may as well take it out. Dude's level 25. I mean, please. Get on his level. Let's go for a white piece with Bug Boy. We're absolutely dominating him. It's time for this war to be over. We've crushed him. He'll probably get a little bit aggressive and we'll come back and crush him later. For now, I've got greater tasks at hand, like trying to get to this mysterious little... Oh wait, no. Right, it's not it. This mysterious little tile. Alright, Aspects Foundry here on turn 146. Where the bloody hell are ya? There you are. Let's fly over there. Glory days. Pacifies all the Solusk villages in your territory. Neat. Gains an observer unit. Okay. Have at least 60 dust on your city for 5 turns. Currently 381 out of 60. This legendary sword is going to be a super easy pickup. That's great. How am I doing on the victory conditions? I've got 17 out of 25 mastery for the territories, but nowhere near the number of fortresses. That seems quite difficult. Or I could keep progressing the story. Slowly does it. Let's keep moving along out here in this very spooky new world. Buy one of these unicorns and have a look at this ginormous wonder. What is this? I think I need a hero even to be able to explore it. Thankfully, we have one heck of a hero nearby. No? Nothing? Let's go talk to these unicorn boys then, see what they've got on offer. They might have a quest or something fun that we can do to pick them up. May others join you, I open with a strong opening. Pacify them all and gain a charger unit if I build one geodesic dome. Okay, I feel that might be a city improvement, which is something that I've largely ignored on a lot of these cities for quite some time. Is this it? No, that's a research station. Just check, it's not a district. No. Ah, there it is, geodesic dome. Insufficient strategic resource. Right, so I need to buy just 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump back into this city of Eastwatch and chuck that dome right to the front of the queue and buy it out. Boom. Single turn quest. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now they want to fight me. Sure. Yeah, it's like a love fight. Good stuff. All I need to do to get the benefit from this natural wonder is claim it, plus 100 science for the first empire to claim, 4 science per scribe. It's a decent claim, obviously. Like a very good, oh my goodness, and that one over there is super juicy too. For now, we'll claim this one. Just cram ourselves in here, just for the claim, and then we'll jump back and grab that, because I do need to get to 25 territories. In fact, here's a little jumper I've prepared earlier. Maybe I can sneak through with my thousands and thousands of influence. And just sneak a little placement up there. Looking good. Looking very good. Here's another dungeon up to the north. Roll through this bad boy and I'll save you the trouble of watching the fight. You've been here a while. It's the least I can do, I feel. It's the least I can do. My strategy with this army out to the right is effectively to just run and fight as many, I mean as many as possible of these citadels, dungeons, whatever you want to call them. Level 1, level 2 doesn't seem to matter. I seem to be able to jump in, fight, and seize them. Now seizing them of course matters because it becomes my territory, and I can then use my dust to re-heal these dudes after their fights. Their fights which, as you can see with that one-hit KO swing, do tend to go in my favor these days. Wins or victories a little bit like these ones. They come with chest plates and broadswords and just devastating victories, really. If you look at the amount of damage done versus received, it's not even funny. Let's try and promote up some of these attributes. Again, go for the insta-heal, so my army of 6 plus 2 can carry on. I can also specialize my, what do you call them, minor faction units. So now we have the elite charger, for example. Another one of these up to the north. It's back-to-back auto-resolve action as I stretch my way across the map. This time, as you can see, up this way. So I've kind of got my central territories here. I'm going out this way, fighting dungeons, and doing it up here. Thankfully, just like Humankind, the fight can continue in the background, so should I want to look around, or, I don't know, focus in down here for a bit, at this unit that I need to destroy now that my city successfully had 60 bucks per turn for 5 turns. What strength have we got? 1,000. I feel like because there's a Doomwraith next door, it's actually more like 2,000 and therefore I'm going to need to get a few extra bodies, just in case. And a deed achieved before any other empire, be the first to clear simply 6 fortresses, and you'll get 10 damage on unit. Woof. I feel like things are about to get a little bit out of control here now. I'll take it. I have a third army over here that isn't really doing an awful lot and could also be following that strategy I was just talking about. Here's a dungeon down this way. If I can get 3 armies out there, highly specialized armies, hello, I'm going to be in a very good position. Now I'm making about 900 dust per turn as well. And a new quest has just come in while I'm rampaging around. This one needs me to destroy rampaging. That's see where I got that from. This rampaging unit, I'll do it. At this point, I am willing to do all of the quests as I move out across the map, try and get the territories, but more importantly, the dungeons too, right? They're really the big ones, because, what was it? It's just an insane number of them. It's going to take forever. At 1500 nearly combat strength for this army, I feel like I might be able to take out this seer now as well. It doesn't even have reinforcements. These noobs don't know how to reinforce. Oh man, I should have done it ages ago. That is indeed the aspect destroyed, which unlocks Archimedes says, spit it out, Jumbo. Scroll. +1 influence on last lord population, the primordial type, and +1 attachable territory on city. That's a great technology, especially the +1 attachable territory. Destroy Aspect's army is my next task. A relatively small, relatively weak, and relatively close by one that shouldn't take too long. Specialize these guys. Don't quite have the resource, so I'll buy one more. Look at me go. Ooh, and I'm using a magical spell to close a risk. A risk? A rift. If you right click on it, you do get an option to close rift or rift teleport as well. I'm going to shut this one down as I continue to sort of march around and try and find areas to destroy dungeons. And you guessed it, welcome to yet another dungeon. We're about halfway through the game, should the turn timer be met. Turn 157, so yeah, roughly halfway through. This dungeon is way down here. And I see another one out there. There's another. My target is 20. I'm not sure I've even found 20 yet. And look at how ginormous this map is. The default map. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because I know a lot of you guys love large mapped games. So it's probably a really good thing. And this is not even the biggest type. My goodness. And another dungeon bites the dust. Ooh. Where's this one? It's way out here, actually. Damn, it is a sparse world. There must be enough dungeons out here for me. I have some vague vision over this pretty large battlefield, and I'm seeing a lot of critical hits pop up. A lot of me taking 15 damage and the enemy being totally wiped out. Speaking of totally wiped out, goodbye, gorilla boys. Oh my goodness. It's turn 163, and it's my last turn. I was just sitting here looking at my progress. What is going on? So, if you're curious, on the Awakening victory, I achieved the 27 territories. Well, I'm currently controlling 27, anyway, far more than the rest of the AI. I only got to 9 out of the 20 fortresses, but I am about to win the game. I have made it through the story so far, right the way out to a broken mirror key encounter, and these don't honestly give me a lot of information on what's going on over here. I can see that I'm winning on score and not on conquest, because I'm not trying to conquest. Most interesting. Alright, let's see what happens. We, lords, that's us, obviously, have emerged victorious. But how? Supremacy victory! I'm just supreme. Nobody could keep up. Wow. I love these graphs. So score-wise, maxed out on score. Food is actually more like dust, and dust is huge compared to everyone else. Science, I was a little behind. Influence did pretty well. Approval, kind of a weird graph, but we did fine. Population, we're the most populated. Not the most technologically advanced, nor with the most units. Plenty of cities and so many territories, as well as that overall score. I'm going to level with you here. I kind of thought that a supremacy victory would be me taking over all enemy capitals, which, if you've been watching through this video, firstly, thank you very much, and secondly, I don't think I've done that. I mean, everyone's still alive, mostly. Well, if you know how I was able to get the victory there, let me know. This is literally my first game, so I need to do a little bit more digging. Obviously, maybe the answer, probably the answer, was in fact right in front of me the whole time. I don't know. Either way, thank you for joining me for this monstrous first look at Endless Legend 2. What a game. What a game. I do intend to play a lot more of it as we move through, so rest assured you should see a little bit more of it here on the channel anyway, at least in this first sort of period while I'm still discovering the game and finding new things, like how to get a supremacy victory without being supreme. Maybe the game just knew I was too good. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.